Good morning friends. Welcome to Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel. In the last few videos, I have discussed about various top-down parsers such as recursive descent parser, predictive parser. I hope you have watched the videos related to these two concepts. If you did not watch those videos, I request you to go back and watch those videos and come back to this video for better understanding. As you already know that parsers are broadly classified into two types. One is top-down parser and bottom-up parsers. As we already discussed about the top-down parsers, from this video onwards, we will discuss about various bottom-up parsers. So, the bottom-up parsers are again broadly classified into two types. One is LR parser and operator precedence parser. Okay, operator precedence parser. Now the bottom up parsers even call it as shift reduce parsers, because here we will perform the two operations basically. One is shift, another one is reduce. So the bottom up parsers can even we call it as shift reduce parsers. Now, LR parsers again broadly classified into four types such as LR0, SLR1 parser, LALR1 parser and CLR1 parser. Okay, is it clear? Now you can ask me what is LR. The LR is that the first L represents that you are reading the input from left to right. Okay, and next R represents that you are doing the reverse of rightmost derivation. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Next R represents that you are doing the rightmost derivation. Why I am calling it as reverse of rightmost derivation is that the bottom up parsers will take the string. Let's take that I am taking a string ABC. From this string, it will go to the start symbol. Am I right or wrong? First you will take the C, B and C you will reduce to some non-terminal. Then again A and C, something like that you will do it. Let me discuss with one basic example, you will understand. Okay, let's take that I have ABC string. I have a grammar such a way that S determines some A determines BC is there. Okay, let me take it. Now, how the bottom up parsers will work is that this B, C and B will be reduced to A, then this A and A will be reduced to S. So, finally you gone to the start symbol. So, from the terminals you are going to the start symbol. So, that's why it is called as bottom up parser. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? And if you do look at it, it is doing the rightmost derivation in the reverse order. So that's why we will call it as bottom up parsers as rightmost derivation in reverse. So the first L represents that it is reading the input from left to right, and R represents that you are doing the rightmost derivation. Then you can have a doubt. Sir, in top down parser what derivation we are using? We are using the leftmost derivation. Am I right or wrong? Now why it is called as shift reduce, I hope you have understood. You are shifting and then you are reducing to one production. Okay, now you have a doubt, sir, LR0 is there, SLR1 is there, LALR1 is there, CLR1 is there. What is the full form each one? SLR is simple LR. LALR is look ahead LR. Okay, this is simple LR. This is look ahead LR, and this is canonical LR. Okay, and then what is this 0 or 1 represents? Now how many look aheads you are looking? Right now you are not looking any look ahead, so 0. Here you are looking ahead 1. That is the meaning. Are you able to understand? When you are looking at the input buffer, how you are looking, that one it will represent. It can be either 0 or 1. Is it clear? Now you will have another doubt. Sir, among these four, which is more powerful? CLR is more powerful as compared to LR0. Okay, LR0 is the least powerful, then SLR, then LALR, then CLR. Is it clear? So CLR is more powerful. What is meant by more powerful? By this time you would have understood what is more powerful. CLR can parse more grammars as compared to the LR0, as compared to SLR1, as compared to LALR1. That is the meaning of the word called more powerful. Not that if all of them fight each other, CLR will win. Not that competition we are not doing. Among the grammars, this one can parse some grammars. Few grammars it cannot parse. That can be parsed by SLR1. That can be parsed by LL1. Some one which cannot be parsed by SLR1 also can be parsed by LLR1. Some grammars which cannot be parsed by LLR1 can be parsed by CLR1. So that's why we are calling it as CLR1 is more powerful. Is it clear? Now we will discuss about the LR parsers such as LR0, then SLR1, LLR1, CLR1 in detail in the coming videos. Now if you look at any LR parser or any parser, you will have the stack, okay, you will have the LR parser, it can be any parsing algorithm, and you will have the input buffer, okay, and the parsing table. Am I right or wrong? Okay, parsing table we will do, and we will have the parsing algorithm, we will have the input buffer. With the help of the stack, it will generate a parsing tree. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? So you need to, suppose if you want to use LR0 for any grammar, then first you need to construct the LR0 parsing table. Okay, with the parser you will generate the parsing tree. And remember one important point, in the last video I have discussed about the LL1 parsing procedure. Am I right or wrong? Okay, similarly for this one also we will have a parsing procedure. For all the LR parser, the parsing procedure is same. Remember this point, please note down this point. The parsing procedure for all these parsers, LR0, SLR1, LLR1 and CLR1 is same. Then what is different? The table is different. LR0 will have a different table, SLR1 have a different table, LLR1 will have a different table, similarly CLR1 have a different table. So if we know how to construct the table for each parser, and if you know one parsing procedure, we can easily construct a parsing table from a given grammar for a particular string. Is it clear? Now let me discuss one more important point. How can we construct the parsing table for these LR parsers? We will use the LR0 items for these two parsers, okay, and we will use the LR1 items for constructing the table for these two parsers, okay. So we will use the LR0 items for constructing the parsing table for LR0 and SLR1. Similarly, we will use the LR1 items for LALR1 and CLR1 parser. Then we will discuss about the operator precedence parser. Only this parser will accept the ambiguous grammar. Remaining top-down parsers and LR parsers will not accept the ambiguous grammar. I hope by this time you know what is an ambiguous grammar. For a grammar, for a particular string, if we have more than one leftmost derivation or more than one rightmost derivation or more than one parse tree, we will call it as a ambiguous grammar. Such grammars only the operator precedence parser only will allow. The remaining parsers will not accept such grammars. Is it clear? So in the next video I will discuss on how to construct the LR0 items. After constructing the LR0 items, how to construct the LR0 parsing table, then SLR1 parsing table. Each one I will discuss. then even you will understand the difference between LR0 parsing table and SLR1 parsing table. I hope you have understood whatever the concepts I have discussed in this video. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.